grab your cane. In this live martial arts class, we're talking about best martial art for street fight self-defense weapon. And in this case, we're talking about that walking cane. The cane that you use to get around that you can take anywhere with you at any time. You're gonna warm up here with this forward spin. You're just doing this little cranking motion with your hand. It goes out and comes back. Loosen your grip a little, don't open it, and spin it. Then bring it across your body and back, forcing you to squeeze your abdominal muscles up and in. Get your core strong. You can do all of these exercises sitting in a chair. Go back to that outer orbital spin. You want to get a good feel for how the stick moves in your hand. And then over and back. Put it into the other hand. Same thing. Make sure you have good footing. Just step your feet under your body, about a shoulder width. And then over and back. This hand is up. You're learning how the staff, or in this case, the walking stick, your walking cane, moves in space and time. You want to learn how to defend yourself with a walking stick, a walking cane. Any type of shorter stick like this is going to work, right? Whether you use it to walk around with because you need it for mobility, or if you just need to defend yourself and you can't carry a big long staff, the bow staff with you. You can't carry a pair of nunchucks. You can't carry even the collie sticks, which is also a great martial art self-defense weapon for street fight self-defense. The collie sticks. We're going to do that one right after this one. Hopefully, if we have time, if we get these through fast, I want to show you elbows and knees, right? Elbows and knees, street fight self-defense. The best martial art for street fight self-defense is the one that you're practicing right now. You got to get up and start moving, do something, and then change after you go along. All right, 30 seconds per hand. Just go back to the first hand if you need to, back and forth. And now we're going to go into some strengthening. Hello from Algeria. Some strengthening exercises. Algeria, perfect example. A lot of places in the world, you can't carry a gun and not go to jail or get shot or get hanged in the street. Hold it here, you can go down and up. So it's easy. Some people say, oh, all you need is a gun. Well, that doesn't work in most of the world. It does if you're a criminal and you have access to one, or if you're in this country and it's your right, it's your Second Amendment right. But not every country has the Second Amendment. You still need to defend yourself wherever you live. All right, so you're here, you're doing this squatting motion to build some power in the legs. This best martial arts street fight self-defense weapon edition workout is all about using the cane to help you get stronger so that when you need it, you have that power, devastating power, to be able to stop the fight with a few strikes, to be able to just explosively go in and defend yourself. That's what this workout's about. So we have these squats right here. In the middle of this, you're gonna do squats for 30 seconds, using your arms and your cane to assist you getting up and down. So now you can go a little bit lower, take a little weight, a little pressure off the knees, off the hips, improve mobility, get your heart rate up, start to sweat a little bit, lean out fast. It is the best self-defense tool if you can get one. This is what I keep saying. People say that all the time. You need a gun. Some people aren't allowed to have some or have a gun. Some people will never have a gun where they live. Over and back. Go back to this, get the heart rate back up, 30 seconds here, and then 30 seconds in that other hand, over and back, and then back to the squats. This is all your warm-up. Building some power in your legs, helping to lean you out a little faster, burn some of that extra stuff around the middle, and then back to this. You're gonna spin, I want you to do like 5 sets, back and forth, back and forth. Spinning, and the other hand, spinning. I need you to get a good feel for how this thing works through. I love it. See, that's why I love this thing. This pulls us all together. We learn from each other. I learn from you more than you ever learn from me. Guarantee it. Back and forth. Back and forth. And then the other hand. Back and forth. And see, if you do it wrong, you're going to hit yourself a lot, which is okay. Because every time you hit yourself, it's a reminder. Sometimes a gentle reminder. Sometimes it's a lump in the head. But it says, pay attention. Pay attention. And that's the beauty of martial arts weapons. It's all about spatial awareness, proprioception, space and time, how your body exists, timing and distance. If you age, and we all age, you're gonna age until you die. As you get older, or if you have mobility limitations, maybe you have an injury, maybe you've lost a leg, maybe you, serving your country, have lost all your limbs or some of your limbs, but you're able to work with these weapons in an adapted way, right? Whatever that is, that's your reality. That doesn't mean don't do it. It doesn't mean that you can't improve. It doesn't mean that you can't continue to grow. You can always grow. You can always get stronger. You can always get faster. No matter what your starting limitation is, there's always forward movement. That's what this belt is all about. When you see the belts in the martial art, unless they're just a goofy, a lot of guys promote themselves, right? I know a guy, he's a gold belt, 10th degree Soki founder. He's the gold belt. He wears a gold bow tie. And when we go to fancy functions, he wears a tuxedo. He's got a gold cummerbund. And he's got a really ratty old gold Rolls Royce. And people who don't know say, oh, wow, that's a nice car. And it was 70 years ago. But now you can pick him up for about $10,000. Doesn't make it, but it's appearance. And he's promoting this idea. He's the American Ninja. I'm an American Ninja. I know how to disappear in a puff of smoke and climb up the side of a ball. No, he doesn't. I mean, he's got some good principles, but he's really a Taekwondo guy. And see, I know stuff like that. And I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying that you can't compare yourself to what somebody else says they are. Compare yourself to where you started like last week, yesterday, the night before. You can do this a little bit better. You're making progress. All right, back to the workout. So you had those spins and you had the squats. Now, put your right foot forward, get your hands up. Martial arts self-defense is all about paying attention to what's happening around you. Number one, situational awareness. What's happening around me right now. Number two, get in a better position. Make your body a smaller target. See that? Just by stepping to the side, I make myself a smaller target. Maybe you're not able to because of your physical limitations. Do the best you can. Remember, later you might be able to do that. If not, you'll find an adaptation that works for you. You'll skip right to number three, which is take a deep breath. Think about, what are my targets? Where am I gonna hit this guy? I told him to back off. I said stop. I said I will defend myself. He's still coming. He's got something in his hand. He's threatening me. He's got 2 or 3 guys with him. They're jumping me for what I've got. I live in one of those places in the world where there isn't rule of law. I know no one's coming to save me. I'm gonna save myself. I got my stick in my hand. I said stop. What are my targets? That's the breath. The breath to just center everything, calm everything down, just a little bit. You can't afford to slow down, right? When you start, which is number 4, hit it. Find your targets and then destroy, remove, erase those targets. Every strike you've got, right? Maybe it's this strike. Maybe it's some of the new ones we're gonna do today. Whatever the strike is, that's number 4. Go all in. Commit to those strikes, to destruction. Destroy the target. Remove the target. Destroy, right? They can't breathe. Destroy the target. Self-defense, street fight self-defense, weapon edition, starts with that first principle, situational awareness. Number 2, better position. Number 3, breath and what are my targets? Think for just a second. And number 4, all in. That breath on number 3, that centering breath, the thing that helps you calm down, allows you not to slow down. So many times you've been taught, you've been lied, especially if you grew up in this Western culture. Sweetheart, you're working too hard. Sweetheart, take a break. You're gonna hurt yourself. If you do too many of those, you're gonna pull a muscle. Slow down, take it easy. You need a vacation. You've heard that over and over and over again. And then the lie gets stuck back there and you can't get it out because you never really think about it. But what happens when you're uncomfortable in your situation in life and you don't like where you are, who you are, how you are as a human being, and you want to make some changes? And taking change requires extreme effort. It's that survival fight for your life. It's the fight for your life. But yet it's that lie stuck back there. Oh, you're working too hard. You start to get toward the point where you can tip it and make a better life for yourself, right? You go over here and then you keep going up. And then you hear that voice in the back of your head, oh, you're gonna burn out. You're gonna hurt yourself, it's too hard. Back off, slow down, take a break, you need a vacation. And then you let off the gas. And then before you know it, you start sliding backward down the hill. And then you crash in the ravine. And then you forget that you had these goals and ambitions, that you were uncomfortable. Maybe because you moved to a new city and everything's new and exciting. But after about 6 months, you're stuck with yourself again. And that's where you need to learn how to calm down and not slow down. That's the breath. That's number 3. What are my targets? His eyes, his throat, that thing in his hand. Break his hand, his legs. I'm gonna take his legs out. Maybe you're in the chair. Maybe his target's up there. So it's a different kind of strike or a different angle. But that's the question. That's why the technique itself is never as important as the questions. The questions lead to the answer of the principles involved. What are the principles of self-defense? Number 4, you just go all in and you destroy it, right? But you need that breath. Now, let's get back to the training. Put that right foot forward. Go down, over, and down. These first 2 angular strikes, angle 1, angle 2. 1, 2. Your right foot's forward because you're striking with the right. Put it in the left. And if you're doing this from the chair, sitting, 1, 2, 1, it's the same thing. Other hand, 1, 2, 1. First angle, second angle. First angle, and you don't have to define it. You can see what it is, right? It's coming from the same side. That's my left hand. It's coming from the left, cutting my body in half at an angle. Think of eyeball to cheek, clavicle to floating rib, or just maybe it's their knee. The outside of the knee to the inside of the knee on the other side, boom. And they can't run, they can't chase you, they can't kick you, they can't stomp you on the ground. But those are your first 2 angles. 1, 2, 30 seconds per side. In the first few, nice and easy, right? Get a good feel for it. Make sure that you're tight and you're tight. Tight meaning fight from behind your cane. Put the cane between me and the threat. I don't want you to see me. I want you to have to look around to try to come after me, right? That puts you in a different, disadvantageous position. You have to come around and then I hit you with it. That's me controlling you. You came up to take my stuff. You're the threat. I got in this position. I stuck this in your line of sight. I interrupted your pattern. Now you have to do what I want you to do. You have to either come over here or come here, and then either way, advantage me, advantage you, because you're defending yourself with that stick. So you have those first 2, 30 seconds, slow for the first 3 or 4, and then gradually increasing speed and power. Speed and power, harder and harder until it aches a little bit, and then get in the other one. By the way, if you're not sweating at the end of this workout, you're not doing it hard enough. Faster and faster and harder and faster. Get that hand up. I forgot. Get the hand up. Pay attention to what you're doing. 30 seconds per side, and then grab it. And when you grab it, I want you to try to push it together. If you're holding it firmly, it's not going together. Think of sliding your hands together. Don't open it though. Try to push it together. You're gonna create some isometric tension. We're gonna use that. Remember I said this workout's about power and martial arts strikes, power and conditioning for martial arts, isometrics, but we're not staying with that. We're not just gonna stop there. This is not enough. First one, like you're doing a push-up, pushing your hands toward each other while they go away. Out and keep the tension on. In, 2, and in, 3, and in, and then explosive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to 10, 8, 9, 10. And then back to your strikes. This foot forward. By the way, see that hook? That hook can be the thing that reaches out and touches them. It doesn't have to be this position. You can have it here and do a whole bunch more damage. I now put this big hook on the other side. That gives me more momentum, more weight, more force coming from here. If I hit you with this backside, I have more area to crush whatever's in my way. Your hand, your eyes, whatever. If I turn it around Now it's like a ripping motion. That thing right there is just gonna rip through skin, pop the eye out, rip the nose. Self-defense, street fight self-defense, you don't have a choice. It's you. We're a bunch of cowardly, scummy, bad dudes trying to take what is rightfully yours, whether it's your dignity, your life, your sense of safety and well-being, your right to move around, or maybe it's money or food or stuff. If it's stuff, just give it to them. But if it's stuff you can't live without, your humanity, don't give it to them. Good. It's best to do it in the dirt. When I go down to Guatemala and work with the little kids, and we start doing handstands. By the way, if you can't do a handstand, you gotta follow my handstand videos. Look for my handstand videos. I love teaching people how to do a handstand. It's a game changer because it inverts your perspective, literally, right? Anyway, in the dirt, these kids, they don't have dirt patches, they don't have grass patches, they have gravel patches with busted up Coke bottles everywhere. So little shards of glass everywhere. And these kids are out there rolling, jumping, falling in the gravel, smiling the whole time. Big smiles, blood coming. You know, just go like this, wipe their blood off. It doesn't even affect them. It's all perspective. It's all perspective. Think about your perspective. What can you really do and what can you really not do? All right, so 30 seconds here, right? 30 seconds here. Go back to that isometric. 2 sets of each one of these. 3, 4, and then explosive. All the way to 10, like you're trying to push that thing together. And then back to these 2-angle strikes. 2-angle strike, harder and faster. You should be, should hurt, not injure. You're not gonna injure yourself. You don't need a hospital, but you should hurt at the end. You should have some good achiness. Now the next one, I'm going up. The punch is coming at your face. You see this high block, right? Traditional martial arts, the high block. A lot of people think the guy's gonna chop you in the head, or he's coming down with a hammer fist. And that's when you do that's not when you do the high block. From here to here, anything coming straight in your face, push it up and out of the way. That's a straight punch. If you're gonna punch me straight in my face and I push it here, what's happened to your hand is it went like this. That exposes all this stuff. That exposes some ribs that I might try to break and send through your lungs so you're coughing up blood. So you can't chase me. Street fight self-defense. Just simple stuff, right? The punch is coming in here. But if no one ever told you, you might imagine the high block is for when the guy's chopping like this. That's not it. The punch to the face, boom, straight up, boom, boom, and then counter punch as hard as you can. We're gonna do the same thing with our staff. I love the staff, it's in my head, right? The cane. Squeeze it together as hard as you can, and then up at that upper angle. Punch is coming in, I'm gonna push it up, and then, oh, look what I got, bang, straight down. Break some of the ribs. From here, and you're probably more likely to break the ribs with this than the knuckle punch. Maybe, I don't know, you might have a good punch. From here, pushing straight up and in. See this? Angle is very important. From here and up. From here, squeezing and squeezing when it comes back down. 2, 3, I'm gonna squat. 4, then explode. 1, 2, 3. When I bring it back in, I'm still pushing it. 4, all the way to 10. Then, on this next set of strikes, I'm coming through the middle and back. Through the middle and back. It's just a horizontal. That's a really hard strike. That's a game changer. That's a fight ender. That street fight self-defense opponent who's bigger than you, he might be bigger, but you got a big stick in your hand. Switch that to the other side. I just put that extra weight at the end of my stick. My hand's all the way at the end. Always leave a little bit coming out of the small side of your hand. And now I've got a bigger, harder strike, right? And again, you can do that up, do that in the middle. If you have to, do it down. You're sitting in a chair. It's just a horizontal, side to side. Same thing, other side, 30 seconds. 1, 2, 1. Always get in that better position. And then back to here. We're on that upper high block. 1, 2, 3. It's hard. Squeezing. Remember squeezing? Isometric. I want you to have the power. Real strength with explosive speed. creates that power to stop the fight, even if you're not as strong as you used to be because you're older or because you've been injured or just because of whatever, you haven't done anything for a while. Even if by doing these isometric exercises, that's very low impact. I don't have you throwing around, I'd like to eventually. I don't have you throwing the kettlebell and flipping it and grab it. I don't have you, bouncing around, boom, 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 hitting the bag, full force. Eventually you can. We're starting nice and easy, squeezing. And because you're squeezing the whole time, you're activating all these muscles in the chest that when you need to, boom, get back, just knock them off. You have that explosiveness. Just doing this for maybe the next 3 or 4 weeks, and you'll see. Let me know if I'm wrong. Hey, I didn't get any stronger. I know I'm not gonna see that, because I'm just gonna say, well, maybe you didn't do it enough, right? Isn't that what they always do? Well, you weren't fervent enough, you didn't have enough faith or whatever, but I guarantee all your money back. Pull it, push it in, and then explode. And then go back to this one. Remember, 2 sets of each. So 2 sets here on each side, that downward angle strike, that X, and then just straight out. And then this one, 2 sets with each hand, 30 seconds each, and then 10, these explosive upper blocks. Now, from here, from the ground, turn your hand under so your palm is facing the sky like you're gonna serve a plate of knuckle sandwiches right into their face. Here, I got a whole plate of knuckle sandwiches. How many would you like? You're gonna turn it, bring it up, and then down and up. It's that angle, it's the opposite of the first 2, but it's coming up. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. They're reaching in for you. 1, knock that hand out of the way, here, boom, and then straight down the middle. That's our last one today. 1, so 30 seconds here, other hand, that foot forward, 30 seconds, that upper angle, X, and then from here, pushing together, down, anything coming here, if I try to punch you in the stomach, kick you, mostly try to stick a knife 17 times to lacerate your guts. Block it. After you've blocked it, immediately hit them, right? Block it, smash. Don't let them come back and try again. But you're here, pushing. 30 seconds, squeezing, and then forcefully. 10 times, not 30 seconds. 30 seconds with the strikes. I'm getting all excited. Thinking about what's next. 30 seconds, and then 10 of these downward, and then another set, upper angles, and then another set, downward blocks. And final exercise. I want you to start with your right foot forward. Strike down, step up, and push to the side. Push. And when you push to the side, you've already activated everything here with these isometrics. You're gonna feel it inside and outside your arm and in your chest. You're gonna, hard as you can, put that into whatever is right there. Let's say it is 3 guys, right? The first one comes at you with a knife. You just lay them open. You step up to get your balance here, your feet under your body, because now the attack's coming from the right. And you're gonna hit here, pushing as hard as you can to the right. Then take a step with the right and strike. Strike. Down. That's that second angle. But stepping in to the right. So from here, step up, you say stop, don't come in any close. They come closer, you step up, hit them. Step in with that foot to get closer. Because you hit them, you knock them back. Destroy them with that strike. From here, step in, 1, 2, step up. Hit, slide in with that right foot, or step in with that, and down, then other side. That left foot forward, 1, 2, step up, strike, step in with that left foot, The left hand has the cane downward, hard as you can. You have to do all of them as hard as you can to get a feel for it. Back to here, 30 seconds. 1, 2, step up, 3, strike. And then the final one here. I want you to, again, this last one, we're doing the isometrics, pushing it together, and your left hand's gonna come up to the left side of your face. You're gonna clear the body. Now look where my hand is. I want my hand right above my hairline there, that left hand. I'm gonna use this stick to stop that knife from going into my neck, from going into my chest. I'm gonna block the weapon with my weapon. I'm across here, and then on this side, still pushing all the way together. If this feels too easy, it's because you're not pushing your hands together. The right hand now, next to the right temple, knuckles at the hairline, and across. Pushing down and across, pushing down and across. And you're gonna find that this is gonna start to work some more muscles maybe you had forgotten about over the last 20 or 30 years. Across, across, across. 30 seconds. And then back to 1, 2, step up, jab, step in, and down. You're moving forward, stopping, and moving to the side. Same thing with the other side. And then again, one more time, pushing again. Up, clear. And don't do this. This is wrong because I'm not putting any pressure on it. Remember, I want you to have explosiveness with just a few weeks of training. I want you to have a feeling inside your body, securely in your mind, that you're stronger than you were 2 weeks ago. Much stronger. That confidence is going to grow inside you like an oak tree. From here to here, here. And when you turn it, make sure you're still pushing them together. All these different muscles are going to wake back up. You're strong. You already have everything you need. You're born kicking and screaming, coming out of the womb. You already know how to fight. You just need the permission. You need to pay attention to what's happening around you. You need to take personal responsibility. That's why you have to see what's really going on. If you start doing this, your head's down here all the time, your mind can imagine all kinds of horrible things, and it will. It's a physiological fact. When you look down, your brain releases all those negative chemicals that create more fear. And anytime you're doing this, you're gonna grow that fear, right? You're down here, your fear grows. What you can imagine in your head is far worse than anything that could actually possibly happen. So instead, keep your eyes straight ahead. I always say look up. People do this. When I say look up, I mean look straight ahead. Look in front of you. Look around. You've got a cane to lean on if you need to. See what's really happening around you. When someone smiles at you, smile back. And someone doesn't smile at you, smile at them. Even if you're in an area where people don't smile at each other. I moved from the Midwest of the United States where everybody smiles and says hello and holds the door open for everybody. And then down here, most of the people down here come from New England states. Not a criticism, it's just a different culture. And you say, how you doing? And they look at you like, what? Get out of my face, what are you talking to me? Doesn't matter, I don't have to change for them. I do that on purpose. It's part of my situational awareness. I want you to get out of your head. If you're thinking about doing something to me, I'd like to know it before you got close enough to touch my body. Smile at them. How you doing? It's beautiful today. How are you? Engage them, interrupt their pattern, whatever the thinking is. But again, you're looking down. It's that time. Time builds the fear into something big. Time feeds fear, right? When you have a difficult decision to make in your life, whether it's an immediate self-defense decision you got to make, or a bigger decision, like should you move, should you continue this relationship, could you cut the relationship, whatever it is. When you have that, and you start to worry about it, you start to imagine all of the things that when you say this, they're gonna say that, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say that, all that time just feeds that fear and it grows into a big, fat, nasty, ugly monster. It doesn't really exist except for in here, because it's all in your head, literally, right? So remember this saying. This is what we're gonna sign off with today, because I gotta get the kids home. I gotta make some fish for dinner. Not because I like it, because it's good for my heart. You don't have to eat it because you like it. Anyway, I was thinking fish now. I get the fish in the head. Fear. Time feeds fear. Action kills it. Just squishes it, kills it dead. As soon as you take action, that action is a real situation, the action is a real thing, immediately the fear is gone because you've moved into the next position. If you got to talk to somebody and you're afraid of what they're going to say and how they're going to feel, and you immediately just go and talk to them, all the fear's gone. Doesn't exist. You're walking down the street, you're looking down. Every step goes slower and slower, and in your head you're worried. It grows and grows and grows. And then you're petrified, you're terrified. All that negative chemical, adrenaline, all that nastiness, cortisol, makes you fat, and it makes you unhealthy. And it puts all that horrible stuff in your arteries, right? The cholesterol hardens, calcifies, and then you got plaque everywhere. All that negative stress hormones. That's what that is. The stress hormones that just grow and grow because you're not taking action. It's all about action. This is an action. Do this, right? Do this. And then get out and smile at somebody. That's an action. How are you? You smile at someone and they look at you like, drop dead. And you say, hey buddy, how you doing? And he looks over you and says, drop dead. You'll smile and say, no thanks. And you keep walking. And it's over. You are walking like this. You look up, you see somebody, and they look at you, and you think in your mind that they mean drop dead. Even though, how do you know? You can't read their mind. The rest of your day, and you tell everybody who'll listen, this guy was so mean to me. He was looking at me. He didn't like me because of the way I look and the way I smell and the way... You've heard it. Sometimes you've heard it coming out of your own mouth, right? All that stuff that isn't real, that comes from a lack of this. A lack of training, a lack of striking, a lack of getting out of the house and walking around, smiling at people, a lack of taking immediate decision on anything that you don't want to do. By the way, if you have gotten to the stage where you're writing down your daily to-do list, look at it. Figure out which is the one you don't want to do the most, and do that first. Do that first. Get it out of the way, and then you got it. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thanks again for watching and listening to me ramble and swing my cane. I hope you've got a cane. If you don't, I'll put a link below on where you can get one for like 15 bucks. I think that might even include shipping. I don't know. If you live here, if you can't, you can get these almost anywhere. You can make your own. Some of you guys tell me all the time, hey, I made my own. Some of you said, I got mine from the physical therapist after I lost my leg in Afghanistan. And I totally get it. And I appreciate that. And I know how difficult, I don't know how difficult that is, but I can imagine how difficult that must be for you. And I appreciate from the bottom of my heart. Or they got so many people, and I know there's a whole like Reddit group, and they share my different forums, share these videos, who are visually impaired and use a cane. And I've gotten emails from people saying, I was afraid to go out of the house. I didn't want to use the white cane because I thought it was going to make me a target. And I just lost my sight 2 years ago to diabetes. And I didn't want to do it. And my weight was becoming more and more of a problem because I was stuck in the house. Now all of a sudden, I'm outside, I'm walking around, I'm watching your videos, which makes a lot of sense if you think about like all the adaptive technologies, right? And I'm like, that's so awesome. I feel so honored and so blessed to get that feedback. But I totally respect it, and I value you for that. So get your cane, get up, take some action, stop feeling sorry for yourself if you are. I know most of you are not. And I will see you on the next video.